As I think about the year ahead, in addition to addressing issues of basic needs, to continuing to be close to community and, when possible, increasing that proximity, I think we're going to have to be vigilant. I think we're going to need to be courageous, and I think we're going to need to be vocal whenever we see behaviors, local, regional, state, or national, that are in opposition to our values and our priorities.
This is Hourglass, the podcast for United Way of King County in Seattle. Coming up, the year in review. We'll chat with United Way of King County President and CEO Gordon McHenry Jr. about our organization's work in 2024 and how that guides our work for 2025 and beyond. We will also hear from United Way Chief Philanthropy Officer Lindsay Harper about our Year in Giving campaign, and we'll discuss an upcoming volunteer opportunity. I'm your host, Joe Burris. Thanks for tuning in. The year 2024 brought its share of challenges, and we at United Way of King County strive to meet those challenges with resources, services, and advocacy as part of our efforts to work side by side with communities to build an equitable future for everyone. Through our work with the local eviction program Keep King County Housed, United Way has distributed more than $3 million in rental assistance for the year 2024, which began July 1. We have served more than 400 households via 7 local agency partners. Our Housing Stability Partnership with Housing Connector helped keep more than 1,100 low-income renters housed. By leveraging the expertise of 90 community-based agencies and assisting more than 200 property managers and landlords, our proactive approach not only prevented evictions, but it also reduced the number of people who could potentially fall into homelessness. United Way distributed more than $930,000 in federal emergency food and shelter program funding to help King County residents access basic needs to stay housed and fed. Our home grocery delivery program made more than 155,000 deliveries in 2024 and distributed more than 3 million pounds of food. Our free tax program served more than 12,700 people during the first 7 months of 2024. We leveraged $16.7 million in tax refunds, including $3.7 million in earned income tax credits, $5.2 million in child tax credits, and $1.3 million in working families tax credits. During the 2024 state legislative session, we successfully advocated for $1.8 million for post-secondary basic needs with funding that will provide every local community college with a staff person to help connect students to on-campus resources. This is a snapshot of how United Way served local communities in 2024 as our region and much of our nation continues to grapple with the high cost of living amplified by the recent COVID-19 pandemic. We also launched the Our Neighbor Fund as part of our effort to ensure that more King County families remain in their homes, have the food they need, gain financial assistance, and access opportunities through quality education. We also joined with other organizations and elected leaders in expressing our concern for how results of the 2024 general election might have in years to come for immigrant, refugee, and asylee communities here in King County. Based upon pre-election rhetoric, we are preparing for the likelihood of providing resources, support, and advocacy for those communities. We often do our work in times of great uncertainty for our region and country, yet we stand with and advocate for our neighbors, particularly those who have been victims of systemic oppression and institutional racism. In 2025, we will add a new component to the Our Neighbor Fund, Rapid Response Grants. This will help United Way address the urgent challenges our communities face with emergent needs funds. This approach reflects our steadfast commitment to the values of equity and justice. We believe we've had an impactful 2024, one in which we ratcheted up efforts to make prevention the cornerstone of our work, and yet we know our work is far from done. Hourglass recently sat down with United Way President and CEO Gordon McHenry Jr. and asked him for a State of United Way assessment. We also asked him to reflect on our work in 2024 and to offer a glimpse at what lies ahead for our organization. Here's what Gordon had to say.
Joe, I really appreciate this opportunity to talk with you and as this calendar year is coming to a close. It's a summary, but I think the way to summarize it for those who are listening, what we do at United Way is hard work, H-A-R-D, and it's heart work, H-E-A-R-T. And I say it that way, reflecting on the year that's coming to a close, because I think many of our staff and volunteers at United Way, we're tired. We're tired because it's hard work, and we're tired because it's hard work, and it's hard on our bodies and hard on our hearts when you see so many people, struggling. And that's the other reflection that I bring to this conversation. For many folks in our community who were struggling, with challenges around basic needs, around the difficulty of achieving a thriving state, however they define it, COVID was really, really disastrous. And I think for many people in the greater King County region, they're still enduring elevated levels of stress and elevated levels of need. And I want to name that because it's natural for us as humans to want to be beyond a crisis, beyond troubling times. But that's not the reality for thousands and thousands of people in King County. And so if anything, encouraging the folks who are listening to this podcast to be very sensitive, to be very open, to be curious about what's going on in the neighborhood, what's going on in parts of the region that they don't normally travel to. And to be mindful that for us at United Way, we still see incredibly large numbers of folks dealing with food insecurity. We see a lot of folks dealing with housing instability. And that hasn't changed. And it continues to be essentially a chronic aspect for far too many people in greater King County.
So amid the hard work and the heart work, how did United Way address some of the challenges that our neighbors face? I'm
really proud of our United Way team and our community partners in addressing hunger in King County. Hunger that shows up for school-age children and youth. Hunger that shows up during the summertime. We address that. We address the school issues with breakfast after the bell in partnership with the school districts. We have meals that are made available during the summertime through the summer meal program. We pioneered home grocery delivery during COVID, and we continue to provide food to thousands of people each week. They order it, we accept that order, and we make sure it gets delivered to their home. So I'm really proud of our team, that we're focused and we're innovative. I think a lot about, I talked earlier about housing instability. We still are, I think, the largest provider of rental assistance. Rental assistance keeps people in their homes. It avoids the eviction process. When eviction in this community, because you can't pay rent or unable to pay rent, means you're likely to become homeless within a few months. And so I'm proud of that work. And I'm concerned that the wait list for folks who have self-identified that they need help, they need that rental assistance, that wait list is growing every day.
So what do you think is the outlook for our region as we move into 2025?
I think it's going to be more of the same. For us at United Way, addressing basic needs issues like food insecurity, housing instability, the need for rental assistance and eviction prevention. I think it's going to be more of the same for us, staying very close to our communities that we are privileged to serve. A really wise person reminded all of us who do human services and race and social justice work, the criticality of being proximate to those who are challenged, those who are oppressed, those who have least or don't have a lot of power. So I see our United Way increasing our commitment to be proximate to the communities that are have need, and to understanding and supporting them in the ways that they prioritize, that they identify as what's most valuable. And to think about the year ahead, in addition to addressing issues of basic needs, to continue to be close to community and when possible, increasing that proximity. I think we're going to have to be vigilant. I think we're going to need to be courageous. And I think we're going to need to be vocal whenever we see behaviors, local, regional, state, or national, that are in opposition to our values and our priorities, that everyone has a right to be seen, to be appreciated for who they are, to be supported, and our commitment to be in opposition to identity-based oppression. And so people are talking a lot about what's it going to be like in 2025 with a different administration in the federal government. I don't know. I want United Way to stay focused on the things that matter most to this community, the areas that are our service priorities, and our commitment to racial equity, to race and social justice, no matter what kinds of wins or behaviors come to us from the federal government, or what kind of behavior emerges here locally. I think we stay focused and we stay very active on those things that matter the most. It is an opportunity for us to continue to transform systems and structures that have held back too many people in this nation and even in this region.
Yeah, I remember the very first podcast I did, Gordon, you talked about the importance of being a social justice advocate and how long you've done this work. What gives you hope as we go into 2025?
Great question, Joe. What gives me hope is that when I look at, the history of the United States and in this region, and you and I have talked about that a lot, I understand that when it comes to progress or progressivism, when it comes to the pursuit of justice, it is by definition oftentimes 2 steps forward and 1 step back. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. But we are making progress. Our bends toward justice. And so that gives me hope. There is progress being made compared to the realities of our forebears and ancestors. The support we get from a variety of places, individual donors, corporations, foundations, that gives me hope and inspiration, because people are saying, yeah, the work we're doing matters. It is important to the fabric, to the reality of life in King County. We and our partners have had some incredible wins in terms of policy and systems change work. And so that gives me hope, knowing that we will continue to be a really focused and loud voice around good policy, policy that helps support people, policy that helps change oppressive systems. We have an incredible team at United Way, folks who choose this work because they see a better future and they have a belief that their work, their efforts contribute to addressing immediate needs and issues and contribute to a better region in which we all live. The work we do, the work I do, is all in collaboration. And so this is a region that has many powerful and impactful nonprofits. I have the privilege of talking to a lot of the leadership in those other nonprofits. And, I take strength that we're not alone. Mm-hmm. I'm not alone. And that there is a really powerful community of social justice advocates. And we're all moving in the same direction. And many of us might be just a little tired right now here in December. Mm-hmm. But in January, we're going to be a force to reckon with.
To learn more about our work in 2024 and for what's in store for 2025 and beyond, check out our website's What We Do page at uwkc.org/what-we-do.
Hello, this is Lindsay Harper, Chief Philanthropy Officer for United Way of King County. I want to talk to you today about our end-of-year giving campaign. Given the changing political landscape and deep divisions across the country, it's easy to feel uncertain about what lies ahead. But here in King County, we have something powerful to lean on: our commitment to one another. Let's focus on what unites us this holiday season: our shared humanity and the generosity that makes our community strong. Together, we can ensure that no one in our community has to face life's challenges alone. Right now, many of the people who keep our community thriving, like our teachers, nurses, grocery workers, and childcare providers, are in precarious positions. Rising costs and shrinking support have left them having to make difficult choices, where one unexpected expense, a flat tire, a medical bill, or a sick day could mean losing their home or going hungry. That's where United Way of King County's Our Neighbor Fund comes in. This fund is about more than just providing help. It's about standing together as a community and ensuring that everyone has the stability and support they need to move forward. Here's how your generosity can make an impact. When 10 people give $100 a month, 5 families can stay in their homes. When 20 people give $250, 300 elementary school kids get breakfast every day all school year. And when 1,000 people give $150, kids across 10 additional King County schools get after-school meals every day. When we come together, we create a community where no one falls behind, no matter what's happening in the world around us. I want to share with you Leilani's story. She's a single mom of 2 who faced an impossible choice earlier this year. A car repair threatened her ability to get to work, stay in school, and provide for her children. Thanks to neighbors like you and the support of our Neighbor Fund, Leilani didn't have to choose. Today, she's continuing her education, working hard, and building a brighter future for her family. Her story reminds us that even in uncertain times, we can rely on one another. Our generosity becomes a lifeline, a bridge, and a way to walk alongside one another when life really gets tough. King County, your generosity has always been the heartbeat of this community. Let's keep that spirit alive this holiday season. United is the way. United is the way we feed, house, and walk alongside our neighbors, because everyone should have the opportunity to thrive, not just survive. Whether it's $50, $100, or more, your support provides food, housing, and hope for families working hard to build a better future. Visit United Way of King County's website at www.uwkc.org today to make a donation. Thank you for being part of this incredible, generous community.
The University District Food Bank is looking for volunteers to help it serve our communities. If you have a few hours a week to give, you can help the U District Food Bank make a lasting impression on people's lives. The U District Food Bank provides individuals and families with food and access to a network of community resources to help them achieve self-sufficiency. The food bank has volunteer opportunities from Monday through Saturday, with some shifts during evening hours. For more information, log on to udistrictfoodbank.org/get-involved. At United Way of King County, we are working side by side with communities to build an equitable future for everyone. Hourglass United Way is a podcast that highlights how we and our partners spend time making a difference in our communities. Our work is made possible by the generous donations from people like you. Please send comments and suggestions about our podcast to hourglassunitedway@gmail.com. To learn more about our work or to support United Way, log on to uwkc.org. I'm your host, Joe Burris. Thanks for listening. Until next time.